Hi. All right. And this is, this is Kathy Culture Presents Fun with Plants. Still awkward. Are you ready? Let's get into it. Okay, so excuse the hair. I just washed it and it's a crazy frizzy mess. So I have a bunch of things I want to do today. I have a bunch of plants in front of me here. Maybe I'll show you them instead of just talking about them. So I have a bunch of things here that I want to work on. I have this awesome onion that's growing and I'm just going to put that in dirt. I had this date palm last time that I moved from some tomatoes, and now little baby tomatoes are growing with it, so I'm gonna fix that today. I have a bunch of things I want to propagate, or things that I want to, kind of cut up and figure out where it's all gonna go. I have a couple big spider plants, so I'm going to cut up all these little babies and put those in pots. I have some succulents here that I want to repot, move around, do what I want to do, that sort of thing. Okay, camera, stop moving. Are you gonna work for me? All right. Okay, so I kind of want these tomatoes, I guess. I don't really need more tomato plants, but I'm gonna try and save them to the best of my ability. I'm gonna make a mess, like always. Ooh, I love new dirt. It's not the greatest view. All right, can you kind of see what I'm working on here? So I've got my tomatoes in here. I want to add just a little bit more. Oh shit, I'm getting it everywhere. I'm gonna add a little bit more dirt. Because once I add water, it's gonna go down. All right, tomatoes are separated. There's my little date palm. Watering. Oh my gosh, that's heavy. So as usual, I've left this too long probably, and it's super dry. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of water to that. Set it aside. I need to add some water to my tomatoes because they were in the same pot, and so they were super dry too. I have some cilantro growing in a little tiny pot here, so I'm going to take that out and I'm going to put it in a bigger pot as well because I want to give this, I like cilantro, I love cilantro. Well, maybe I should move that out of the way. Don't fall off the edge. Are you okay? All right, so I'm just going to repot this. I have another little thing of, oh, here, maybe before I do that, put the cilantro in there. Once again, this is on my dining table, so love that for me. I'm trying to bury some of the stem while I'm at it. Maybe I have this under grow lights, so I don't know why the stem is so intense and long. And are you coming out? Yeah. Oh wow, what are all these roots? Okay, this is interesting. I've got an insane amount of roots here, but I don't know what for, because all I have is a little bit of cilantro here. Look at all the roots. I'm just gonna put that in there, even though I don't even know what that's from. It's okay. right, now I've got a little cilantro. There's some lettuce, leafy lettuce in there too, but it's not really up to much, so I'm not really worried about that. I have more lettuce growing in random pots and pottery that I've made. And it just kind of does its thing. And these two need a little attention. I don't want to get rid of, so the person I bought all these succulents from, oh my gosh, interesting. I'm pretty sure they put a pretty significant amount of perlite in their dirt, which I don't have. So I don't want to lose all of that. So I'm going to try and keep as much of the dirt as I can, but these need just a little refresh. A bit more dirt in there. And because they were sitting in front of a window, so they're all kind of like on their side, trying to get to the light. Terrible. So yeah, I'm just trying to reorient them in here while I'm at it, so that they look a little, you know, less falling out, like so they don't look like they're falling over, basically, because that's what they look like right now. They're all on the verge of falling over. All right. This pot looks big now. I love it. Now it'll be, look at him, he's falling over. But he looks like he's doing pretty well. I don't really know what I'm doing with succulents. I like succulents, but who knows? Oh, she had some gravel in the bottom of this one. Wonderful. And yeah, I'm just gonna go around and top it up. Ooh, I'm getting dirt all over my floor. And I don't know if this is a cactus. It has little things like a cactus, but like this is all new growth here, but what is going on? I gotta see what I can do about that. Now, see, I worry that maybe I've been overwatering this little guy. Because if it is a cactus, I shouldn't be messing with it too much, right? But I have. Because I'm terrible. So I'm just making a mess and really getting the dirt everywhere around him so he doesn't fall over. This guy too is kind of facing towards the sun, so he's a bit of a mess. Okay, so I took a little bitty break there. The hair was driving me crazy. I had to do something with it and get it out of my way. All right, where was I? So I think you may have missed some stuff. I've just been repotting my succulents. So they're now all in new containers. Well, maybe not all of them yet. Just something a little bit bigger so they have room to grow. And I kind of reoriented them so that they're standing up. And I also had, so this I've made. So this guy was crawling up some pothos vines, so I put it in this with some other pothos that I had. Okay, so I have this lovely plant here, but it has found its way to a pothos and wrapped itself around, so I'm gonna figure out something for it today to kind of address this situation so it has something to climb on. Now I'm gonna have them all going up onto this little tiny trellis thing eventually. I have some pothos cuttings. I'm actually going to get some more that I'm going to propagate. I have so many pothos and spider plants and all that stuff that I'm going to do a little something with. And then, oh, I've got, so this is, I don't know if this is a succulent or what it is, but it's not looking amazing. So I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna try replanting it and see if that helps it out. Some sections just seem to be dying off, but then some are kind of coming back, so I don't know. I don't know if this is one of those plants where it's like a succulent and you should let it get super dry, but oof, this is dry. Okay, so I don't feel too bad. It doesn't look rotten or anything in there. So I don't know, maybe it's okay. But I'm gonna just repot that into something a little bit bigger. Maybe I'll go for this guy here. And I'm just gonna, again, I'm gonna bury the stem more, just so that it's more stable and stands up nice and tall and straight. Because I don't want my cute little whatever this is falling over. I should really look up the names of these. I won't remember it anyways, so. I love watching those plant videos where where the person is just, they know all the scientific names of plants. Oh, that's something I aspire to. Obviously, I'm not there, but it is definitely something that I appreciate, and I think it's amazing. But yeah, I don't know any of the scientific names. I don't even know what that plant is, so. All right, okay. So for my spider plants, I'm just gonna move this down a bit. You see that? Oh shit, okay, stuff is falling. Oh, now you see how messy my table is. Oh no, oh no. It's okay. It's okay, I'm just gonna move some stuff off to the side. So I've got a bunch of these little guys. Sometimes these will even grow little roots just out in midair. These don't really have that yet, but they will be fine if you just stick it in a pot, which is what I'm gonna do. Just cutting off all the little babies. Even this little guy, sometimes I'll put a couple together. And spider plants are insanely easy to grow. They're very low maintenance, so this is just gonna get rid of that. And I have all these little spider babies. So I'm gonna fill these up with dirt. And then I literally just stick it in the dirt. And that is it. Super simple. And then I'll just water it. So I might lose, if I did 15 of these, I might lose 2 just because maybe I didn't water them enough or they just didn't want to root for whatever reason. And you'll know if they're not being watered enough because they'll kind of turn a grayish color, right? If they're lacking in water, they get mad about it and they'll let you know, which is good because then you can kind of, you know, help them out. But yeah, in my last batch I did, I had a bunch of babies, maybe 20, and I lost maybe 2. I don't know if I didn't water them enough or what, but so they just didn't root for whatever reason, and they kind of just turned a grayish color. So I'll just let those go. Oh, this one's so beautiful. I love it. Spider babies. You can get curly spider plants, which is something I'm interested in. I haven't seen any yet. I haven't bought any yet. I know some YouTubers do that. They have like little propagating businesses where they just share their baby plants. I love it. Not that I'm a YouTuber, but I think it's a great idea. Good way to get lots of different kinds of plants. And look at that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh my gosh, I have made so many. I've got lots going on here. Now I'm gonna show you propagating with pothos. It's super easy. But every now and again, I'll just kind of trim a bit. Sometimes they get a little long and they get in my way. Some people will just let them grow forever and they put them on their ceiling, and I fully support that. But I don't do that. All right. Oh, my work area is so messy. So all I'm going to do is I just cut all of it apart, basically. So I want to keep the little nodes. So what I'll do is I trim it, and then you can see on the bottom here, there's like a little, that's where my root's gonna be. It's a little node. And I make sure it's in the water. Oh, and I try not to drop it everywhere. And then I'm just going to do the same thing. I like to get a lot at a time. And maybe I'll end up putting it in 2 pots. Maybe I'll keep it in just 1, and then it'll be really full. So this would have been multiple plants that I put in there together, and then it kind of does its thing eventually, right? You don't need to keep all this. It's not necessary. And it doesn't take that long to get it growing. Usually it's pretty fast. And you'll have a really good success rate as long as you make sure there's water in there. And so I'll, maybe once a week tops. You probably should do it more often than that, but once a week maybe I'll get some. I'm just gonna cut that leaf off. And so what I like to do is when I have like a few leaves at the end here, I'll just keep them all. I've got my node down here. I'm gonna cut this, and then I'll just leave the rest on there so that I've already got all those baby leaves. I don't want anything bad to happen to them. I want them to stay together. And if you lose a leaf every now and again, it's not a big deal, right? So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm actually gonna cut this leaf off. Sometimes they grow in weird directions. I'm gonna keep that down there. I'm gonna little stem. There we go. And yeah, see how some of them are just growing in the craziest directions? It just depends where your sunlight's hitting them. I'm gonna take that. So I'm gonna keep this node, but then I wanna have my leaf above the water. So that's why I'm cutting it like that. There we go. Perfect. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. I want to keep these leaves all together at the end. So I already have a nice vine started, but then I have a node under the water so that it will root. And then here's another one. I'm gonna do the same thing. If they're really short, I have a hard time keeping it under the water. So what I'll do is I'll just cut it like so. And then, yeah, so my leaf stays out. Beautiful. And for this sort of thing, I'll usually have pretty much 100% success rate. Maybe a couple won't really do anything or won't root, but I'll just throw them in the dirt anyways and hope for the best. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And it's okay, regardless, right? So there we go. I'm getting a pretty decent amount there. And that is done. It's all good. So every now and again, I'll just add a little more water. I'm just using tap water. If you have distilled water or if you're on a well or something, that's probably going to do a much better job, right? But this is just what I've got. I'm pretty cheap, so I'm not going to be out buying, fancy distilled water that I don't even buy for myself to drink. So it's all good. Okay, so this is my little collection of baby spiders that I already had before, and then these 4 over here I just added, and I'm making a mess with the water. But yeah, so I've got lots of little spider babies. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all these. Nothing. Sell them, give them away. But yeah. Okay, I'm almost done. So I've planted a lot of things. Maybe some of them off camera, so sorry about that, because I just make a mess. I get things everywhere, and I get distracted, and then I go do other things, and then I come back. It's okay. So the last thing I've got here is, I'm pretty sure these are just pepper seeds from a pepper that I, ate. And I've been sprouting, oh, hello. I've been sprouting these for probably a couple weeks now. I just kind of left them, maybe a little too long, to be totally honest. Some spots look a little moldy, but I have gorgeous little pepper babies everywhere. And I am literally just going to put them all together, add some water, and then whatever lives, I'm pretty psyched about it. So I don't know if you can see those at all. There, you see those little guys? Little babies. So I just put them in a bag, in a paper towel with some water. And some didn't really grow, and it's fine because I've got a lot here to work with. And they've got little roots. And I'm just gonna throw them in the dirt, add some water, and we'll see what happens. All right. Okay, so here is some of the stuff I replanted. All of this today, just into bigger pots, reoriented them, got rid of dead leaves, except for this pineapple that I've got going here. Ignore that. Obviously that wasn't part of the succulent batch. And then I also did this today. So I've got all my spider babies and some babies I already had. And then I had that one plant that was creeping up my pothos. And now I've got it on the trellis here. So we'll see what happens with that. I have all grow lights on these. There's some lucky bamboo. There's some all kinds of random stuff. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. I'm just going to let it do its thing. I added some other stuff to it, like some pothos and some, oh, I can't remember what these are called. But they're like the pretty heart leaf plants. Just randomly threw those in there. So once they start trailing, I'm going to put those on the trellis too. All right. This is my outro. Bye.